First episode of Let's Camping 2019. We're gonna head south of Albuquerque and see what we can find to camp by the river. After a quick jaunt for groceries, we are finally on the road. We got some new toys to test out. REI was running a big sale, so we headed down there and we got one of those Biolite stoves for 20% off. It's nice when you can buy stuff cheaper than is on Amazon in real life. So now we're headed down towards Socorro. We're going to be a little bit north of Socorro. Basically, I just picked out some areas on the map. I never know if they're actually going to work out, so I choose a bunch just in case we can't camp there. There's a fence, it's closed, or you're not allowed to camp. I checked it out online beforehand, and it seems like we should be good to go. But we'll find out when we get there. I know it's a long dirt road to actually get on that side of the river, so that's where we're going to be going. We're going to set up base camp and hopefully have a nice evening by the river. But sometimes things don't go as planned, so we're here along for the ride. Check back in a few. It's kind of a breezy day out, and you can definitely feel it with the rooftop tent up there. It's like driving with a giant toaster on the top of your car, so interesting to kind of feel the car wander all over the road. That's alright, making it happen. Sometimes your Doge needs to pee. So you pull over. It's not a good way to get back on the highway. So you have to use your off-road abilities and improvise. Probably not the best of ideas with oncoming traffic, but fuck it. We made it. So this road we're on, NM State 304, is super nice. Apparently very freshly repaved. Kind of a pleasure to drive on because I know a lot of the drive we're going to be doing is going to be on dirt, so nice to have this while we can. We are officially off-road. So who knows how long this is going to go or if we're going to run into any fences or closed gates, but we're going to give it a shot. And like I thought, and as we run into a lot everywhere, we hit our first gate. Well, we're going to backtrack and try to get around this private property. Just trying to camp. Sometimes you got to stop and let the tractor go by. So we backtracked again, and another private property sign. Hot darn. Attempt number 3, unsuccessful. Once again, no trespassing, private property. We'll keep on keeping on though. We'll find a way in here. We finally found some BLM land on the Cevitia Wildlife Preserve. It seems to be open, and we're kind of driving next to the river, so we're gonna try and find an applicable spot for some campage. For our 4th try and about 25 minutes of driving on a very sandy road, we have arrived at the Rio Grande. AKA the Dirty Brown. It's actually got a decent amount of water in it because we've gotten a lot of rain this year, so we're going to try to find an optimal spot to put up camp and let it eat. We did find a really, really awesome spot right by the river, but it was inundated with bugs. So we are now moving on to another spot. At least we weren't blocked by no trespassing, private property signs. This time, it was Mother Nature saying, you probably shouldn't camp here. So we'll find another spot with slightly less buggy type wildlife. Giving up on our dreams to camp by the riverside. we have decided to go another 13 miles south to something called the Quebradas backcountry Byway, which is kind of a point-to-point open space type area with lots of canyons and so on and so forth. There's lots of little shoot-offs on the road. It's all BLM property, so you're allowed to camp there. There shouldn't be any private property signs, but there will definitely be no agua. And that's okay. We're still going to find a nice spot and set up our home away from home. Seeing as how this road is super washboardy, I'm going to go ahead and air down. I got this pretty sweet little device off Amazon for super cheap that removes the valve stem and allows you to air down without taking everything apart. We got 40 pounds in here now. I'm gonna go down to 25. Perfect. Now rinse and repeat for the rest of the tires. After a minor snafu with some gale force winds shutting the tent while we were trying to get it set up, I think we got situated and everything is figured out. Now we just got to make a small fire pit, get rid of some of the cow manure that's laying around here. Good job, babe. Yeah, and then we can just kick back, relax, cook some dinner, and enjoy these beautiful views. Frederick, this one's for you. This is the little grill I was talking about earlier, the Biolite. Like I said, had 20% off. I think it came out the door at around 170, usually 200. I'm gonna give it a try. Makes coffee, makes food. So for places that you can't have a fire, this is going to be a great way to cook, and it uses sticks and whatever. A bunch of the reviews say that the charging thing sucks, but that's not what I'm really going to use it for. Bring a different charger. Plus we have solar already. So all we need to do is gather some sticks, which my dog does for us usually, and put them in here. Cook some food. Oh, this wind is horrible. Anyway, put some cardboard in here, broke up some sticks, just a few, Came with this starting blocks, so we're going to break a piece off of that as such. Give it a light. Dump that in there. Wait for magic. Has a little fan that's supposed to keep the smoke down. So the fan's on. Dog keeps bringing us sticks. Check out this gem.
That's pretty fresh.
Go ahead and turn the fan off for a second. Whoa! And the fan turned back on by itself. Not sure what's happening. We got a rather large flame going. I just said not to let that go the other way. Towards the plastic of the inducer unit. But that's how easy it is to make a fire out of here. You just need a lighter and some starter sticks and some twigs. And then once those go down, you break off some and you put them in there. Just like that. If you need to, you put that on, you cook. If you want to use this to make some coffee, you can do that as well. Goes right over the top like that. Pretty good. Pretty pumped on this thing. We'll see how it does when we actually go to cook. The little camp stove is cooling itself off now. It's charged its battery almost all the way. Almost. It did a pretty good job. It cooks a little bit slower than a propane burner, but that's to be expected when you gotta reload sticks. I did burn a hole in my little table, but that was from my poker stick, not from the actual Biolite itself. Other than that, I think it's pretty cool to have this. You don't got to bring any propane with you. You can just use what nature gives you, which is a bunch of sticks. I have a dog that brings us sticks non-stop, so we have a constant supply of fuel for this grill. All in all, I like it. Dog just went and chased some cows around. His herding instincts kicked in like he'd done it his whole life, except for up the side of a hill. Now we're chilling with our little portable space heater and our citronella candle to keep the mosquitoes away. It's a nice evening. Took some glamour shots at magic hour of the rig from far off where the cows were. They are no longer there. Thanks, Archer. Yeah, we're just going to relax before we hit the hay. This is one of the things that I worked on with this thing, was putting in wireless lights. Pretty bright and awesome. So that way when we're up in the rooftop tent, you got to take a pee in the middle of the night. There's lights on the other side as well. You click this on or off, you go do your business, you come back in the tent. Lights. It's nice. It's also good for unloading if you get there late, you know, whatever, but pretty pumped on these things. And it was cheap too. We've retired to the rooftop tent. The old Smittybilt. It's nice and warm in here. We got lighting in here as well. Here's the remote for downstairs. You just need to click that on and off. The dog has room to sleep. We got our air mattresses blown up. We're ready to catch some Z's. It's been a long day of exploring. being denied again, being denied again, and then driving a bunch of wrong ways to try to find a nice spot. Finally did. It's time to retire. We're relaxing. Smitty belt rooftop tent. Hit that right, Archer. Time to bust out the old Nintendo Switch, play a little Diablo 2, and hit the hay. Just awoke. Modifications we made to the sleeping pad worked fantastically. It was much warmer than the last night. Archer slept good. So now it's just time to make some breakfast. So we've officially turned this $600 a night hotel into a $300 a night hotel. Next time it'll be $200 a night, and so on and so forth. What are you working on? Part of that morning ritual, getting our coffee on. See how long it takes to boil this. If you had 2 of these, it would be ideal, but I'm not spending $400 on stoves since I already have 2 others. But in addition to other stoves, I think this thing is fantastic. It wasn't the 4.5 minutes as advertised, but it was still pretty quick. Now it's time for coffee. Burned the living bejesus out of my finger already, so that's fun. Just trying to move it from here to there, and I accidentally touched the metal. Okay, so instructions 1, Dan and Michaela's 0. It says not to put pans on there, which would make sense as to why it's not cooking very well. So we're going to scratch that one off the list of this thing being bad at, because it says not to do that in the first place. So we're going to bust out the old gas grill and get these things cooking the right way. Good for hot dogs, good for hamburgers, good for veggies, good for anything that you can put directly on the grill. Not meant to do this. Alright, moving on. The Quebradas backcountry byway. I'd like to head back out there and actually do some 4-wheeling, maybe spend 2 nights out there and just kind of go, just undo the tent, pack up, and then just do some more off-roading and then camp somewhere else and then head home. There's lots and lots of open space back there for people to do that. But all in all, pretty fun trip. So that's it for our first episode of Let's Camping for 2019. Archer!